one calling the shots. Guess who be running the show? Fuck with me though, making me feel like the bad guy.
What's up, guys? So I'm realizing after all this time on the channel, I have no coilover suspension type video for you guys. So do a quick one right now for you. And this on the front end is a set of K-Sport. These are from a buddy. Very cheap. Very, very good deal for what we're just trying to do. So this is purely for mock-up instance. The reason why I'm showing this part is because this is your rebound adjuster on a single adjustable coilover. And we have front suspension from an FCR X7 on here, which is why I bought just the fronts from him. Worked out really well. And so anyways, this is your rebound adjuster. This particular coilover has a 32 detent click, which means full hard will be clockwise, and it'll click 32 times. Okay. Now, the way that I've always measured this stuff, and this is the way that I suggest it, is go full hard for your coilover adjustment and then count backwards. Full hard being 32 out of 32. For some coilovers it's 16 or 12 or 24. This is irrelevant and doesn't matter for this video. Okay. So, on that note, now we've got the idea of the hardness. Okay. The secret and the little trick that I've always used is I will find that there's a ride frequency balance from front to rear of the car that will be based on your spring rate, will be based on if you've added any components to the car that are aftermarket beyond, let's say, like a huge V-mount. So I've got more weight in the front of the car. It's most likely going to need a different rebound ratio to help the spring than a standard vehicle. Then it also comes to driver feel. Too much rebound damping will cause the car to essentially jack down the suspension, which means the tire will continue to go up towards the chassis of the car into the bump stops, because your rebound is your resistance from that shock extending. Okay? So when you increase your rebound, it's rebounding less likely, right? It's compression is the exact opposite. So in this instance, I would start at something like a middle ground, but slightly softer. So if this is a 32 click, I'll start the fronts off at 13, and then I'll start my rears off, if it was also 32 click, at something like 17 or 18. The ride frequency of the rear of the car, I found personally to be somewhere around 15, 20% higher to catch up with the front. So what's happening is, as the car is driving down the road, if you see any oscillation, front of the vehicle, rear of the vehicle, any oscillation like this, and you're feeling the car jacking back and forth, that is incorrect. That's not what you want. The car should be going like this. Okay? And to do that, the rear suspension has to react faster than the front of the suspension. And the one way that I found to do that is to offset the front to rear rebound rates. And it's a very simple concept. It works on literally every vehicle with coilovers that are adjustable. And I've had immense success for last 12 years tuning cars in the mountains. So if the car is lacking grip, reduce rebound. If the surface is rough, reduce rebound. if you have a perfect glass mirror surface and you need maximum grip, increase rebound. It's that simple. So you're getting a ride frequency first. Once you get that, then you can kind of adjust globally. Generally, the detents open the orifice inside the coilover accurately enough to where you can get your, let's say, your front or rear offset corrected. And then you can globally go up to. You'll find a point where the tire starts to skip. Then you start bringing it back down again, back. And you're going to find a point where the car is too dull for a certain input. And, that could be corrected with an abundance of anti-roll bar, sway bar. However, I would think that, instead of running crazy heavy spring rates or crazy heavy anti-roll bars, you just get the damping correct. Damping is just getting rid of the vibration caused through the chassis of that spring and the flex of the body itself. So my point is to focus on the job at hand. It is designed to get rid of that vibration. You're not using it as a spring rate. So you don't need a million freaking clicks to make these things work properly. What you could use is a spring change. So I think that covers most things with how I personally set up coilovers. It's worked effectively for making very quick cars even faster and making very shitty driving cars drive amazing. So hope that helps. Getting back into the swing of videos and trying to be helpful and doing this stuff. And yeah, we'll see how the baseline settings that I set for this chassis are going to work with a crazy NASCAR style front anti-roll bar that's custom. K-Sports that are not sprung for this chassis weight. They're definitely not rebound properly for this chassis rate. And a set of drag racing double adjustable rears, which are completely different than what you'd expect for this chassis. So between all of that, if I got my calculations right, which I think I did, it might handle really good out of the box, and then small minor adjustments will make it great. And then what I'll do is I'll take that data, we're going to go off to MCS and get a set of 3-way coilovers designed for an FC, and then they have the top hats that I'm going to be sending from these coilovers, which are a pivot ball style. So there's a big 1-inch ball, and then the top can pivot around, and that goes into the original shock positions for these, which I'm still debating if I need to reinforce that, because now it's going to be carrying the weight of the vehicle there instead of the original spring perch. So kind of a toss up if I need to reinforce that region. I have seen a set blow through, but I've also seen sets not blow through for 40-plus-year-old vehicles. I think I'll take my chances on that. So anyways, coilover adjustment, quick and dirty. Hope you guys can enjoy that. Cheers all. See you in the next one.
I know I'm calling the shots. Guess who be running the show? Fuck with me though, making me feel like the bad guy.